In the name of God, the beneficent, the most merciful, brothers and sisters, if this is frightened, then God is willing to take the fight for us. But if it is forced on us to fight, then we too have to fight. See, we can't ill afford to lose out another generation. Since the 90s, we lost two. And we should say, like the members from the Jewish community after the Holocaust, never again. I think we should let the world know that we are tired. But we are not going to go out and do nothing foolishly. I haven't given the order just yet. Just kidding. But when a person, my brother, is being attacked, by all means, he has the right to defend himself when being attacked from his attacker. See, if it's deadly force, they are allowed to respond with deadly force. See, this is not man talking. This is what God has says. So when a intruder breaks into your home, you as being a citizen, as being the responsibility of a citizen, has the right to protect your home when someone comes in, especially if you got children. You have that right as being the responsibility of every citizen. So the real question I want to ask ourselves, are we citizens? Are these constitution guaranteed for me and you, for a black man, for a Hispanic, for a Native American, or even poor white people? I think now we need to come at a position now that we should question this government. So let's stop for a minute. See, don't give them no service until they answer the question. See, don't tell me to fight a war that is not necessary for our people to go and fight a war in the Middle East or somewhere. So the question is, don't give our brothers and our young black sisters the right to go to a poll every year to vote for a white ruler in office when no white person have to do that. So the real questions I want to ask ourselves, and we keep it real now, are we citizens? See, are these constitution guaranteed for me? See, well, in fact, you put a little trickery in this 13 commandments. See, however you give a citizenship, but however we've been convicted of a crime. So now you making it more easy to convict black people with crime, to rob them, to whatever was guaranteed. See, you are trickery, deceitfully, demonically said that you engage us, but every time we try to exercise the rights that you say we have, you find a way to destroy it. So now, do we have a complete freedom under the law? Do we have freedom of hope? A complete freedom? So all this unravel started from a lie. Because still today, for over 400 years back then, our people was in slavery. There was in servitude slavery. Mistreated. And see, brothers and sisters, you look for injustice, but you get injustice. You see. So I want to talk to my gang bang families. See, in this time, you make it very difficult for me. See, in the late 90s and early 2000s, see, we knew who the enemy was. On to this new year we in, from 2020 to 2021, see, brothers, you are the enemy. See, it's black people still killing black people. See, it's black people robbing black people. See, it's black people raping black people. See, now I'm talking to you. See, you game bangers know the principles of retaliation. But see, you are retaliating on the cheapest of principles. See, you're not retaliating of an oppression of justice, but you are retaliating because you don't like the color that you see your brother wearing. So you kill one another. And I want to say this, brother, that it's going to get to a point in time that all the killing that's going on throughout America and throughout this world, the police is not going to be able to handle this. The investigation is going to be at a point, it's going to be too backed up. And then we're going to send the National Guards. Remember what the Bible says in the day of Revelation, this would be a sign of Armageddon. So brothers, when they send the tanks and see you killing each other with those cap guns, see, they're not going to go against the tanks, you see. And some of you, and I want you to listen to me, brothers, because I love you. Some of you would get amongst each other and say, well, I got, I got an AR-15. I got an AK. I got Mac 11. But them guns is not going to go against those tanks. You in so much pain that you can't handle the pressure because it's drawing you crazy. Actually, I should say it's drawing you insane that you rather kill your own. And see, brothers, God will continue to move you off the earth as He's doing today if you don't wake up in this time. I had a pastor, brothers, that told me, and he told me this, that with all the killing in the community, the people seem numb to the killing. And when the white policeman is ready to shoot us down, then we ready. Let's march. See, the enemy is doing it again. But see, brothers, every Friday night now and Saturday night, see, emergency rooms is filled, not by your enemy, but by us killing us. You see, that's a worse crime because the enemy has always become our worst enemy. But see, brothers, when we become our worst enemy, that's something that we should be concerned with. See, that's something that we ought to take in consideration when we kill each other. And see, when we do that, brothers, we're not showing any kind of love amongst our own black people. And throughout the community, all of our people is in pain. And I want to say this, you in pain, brother, because you're not productive as you should be. And I want to say you in pain because I'm going to explain it to you because your nature was never explained to you. So alcohol man can come in and say, hey, brother, take this for your pain. So now you're a college professor and you in pain because professors, you ain't professing right. See, young people is coming to get themselves a 4-year education, but they're not getting the proper guidance what they should learn when they at a university spending 4 years on what they trying to learn. So in the basement, you see, most of the professor's house, you find a bar and you rent bars in your basements. You rent houses and you have bars and things, and you invite your friends to come over. You sit down with them. You have a drink and you tell jokes and laugh and talk, and you tell jokes to the next day. And you sit there where you was and you continue to laugh and talk and tell jokes to suddenly on Monday, you acting like you professing. See, brothers, it's just the same with preachers. See, preachers are sad, man, too. Because I want to see most of them believing in God. But see, he ain't willing in life when the enemy lurks around. You understand what I'm saying? You start saying, as they said in Jesus in the midnight hour, as Jesus says on the cross, my God, why have you forsaken me? Because I want to say to you, brothers, deep down inside, most of the cowardly people claiming to believe in God. See, you allowed the flock to be eaten by the wolves. And now the shepherds have to run and hide to become apologists from this wickedness of this slave master and his children. So I want to say preachers are unfulfilled too. And this is why sex is a major impact in the preacher's life. Nah, I'm not here to bring any pastor down. For the most part, there are some very, very successful pastors, for the most part. But I want to say this. There's too much talk among pastors about women, about our women. And it's too little talk about serving the needs of our people that we should be shepherd over. So I said, brothers, all of us in this world are in pain. See, the man of God, he got his Bible, he's in pain. The Muslim brother, he got his Quran, he's in pain. The agnostics that don't believe in no God, that don't believe in no Bible nor Holy Quran, but he's in pain. Game bangers, in pain. All of us is in pain. And don't you know something, brothers, the more pain you in, the more your brain can begin to be distorted. And from there, brothers, you became an incessant liar. And now all of a sudden your parents will become objects to you. And not your real parents that you should have love and tenderness for. So, brothers, you see your mother's coat, sister, I should say, and you take it. You see something valuable, so you take it. So I want to say you, in the saddest state of your mind, will kill your own mother, your own father, your own brother, your own sister. Now the community is filled with rage and filled with drugs and filled with all pain and filled with no power. Now the community is filled with guns. So Satan said, mouth go from the barrel of a gun. So now when we put a gun in a young black man's hands, he got himself on something now, brothers, that gives him power. What he's hungry for, power. What the Bible says in the very beginning, that God gave man in the very beginning, man gave him power. But the enemy took away from you power. So now you're trying to find, at some point, you're trying to find on how you're going to get it back. But see, brothers, you just don't know how. So your enemy sell you a gun. See, you didn't go to the gun store to purchase it because you couldn't get it at the gun store. But you got it on the market. See, the white market. And they sold you a gun. And they knew that you wasn't going to go into their communities to vandalize or terrorize their community. They know that the more guns they put in your hands, that you will go into your community and burglarize your community. Now, it's guns and drugs and jobless men. It's guns and drugs and man with no creative minds. So it's guns and drugs and a man that's not really of a man of his own destiny. So I say in this time, my brothers, that we should get together for a spiritual feast. And maybe we can show love towards our own black people. So I want to say peace, shalom, may God be with your spirit, brothers and sisters.